Hey, everybody. Welcome to West Coast Massholes with Josh Wingate and me, Todd Anderson. Hang on. So we don't go like a half hour because we went a whole half hour last time. And that's ridiculous. We're not that interesting. So
No.
we'll try to keep it.
Well, but
I'm going to start a timer. So when you hear George Takei, that means it's over.
when you hear George Takei,
Yeah, he'll say, "Oh my, oh my."
oh my.
That's
As long as it can be picked up by the audio, that's all I want.
yeah. Once it happens, I'll hold it up to the. It's right by the mic, so it should be good.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
Look at my hair, man.
That is on the next level. That's like what's his name? The other three named actor, comedian guy who always works
John C.
with
Riley?
yeah, John C. Riley. Well,
That's
he's
funny
not
that you
as
see that.
pretentious.
I just watched rewatched Step Brothers last night. That movie's still hilarious to me.
That's great. That's great. I didn't watch anything funny last night. I finally watched Honey Boy.
Oh, right.
And that is, yes, the only funny part of that movie is the end when it says that the characters are fictional. That's the only funny part, because that shit was not fictional. That thing was trauma, man. Wow.
Were you the one?
But
Were you the one telling me about how Shia LaBeouf told his dad that he'd be played by like Mel Gibson or something? Was that you telling me that story?
Yes, but I was not firsthand knowledge from myself to myself. That was told to me. But so that could just be one of those Hollywood rumors, but that's the story.
I like that story that he said that Mel Gibson would play him, and then he said, "Oh, he dropped out the last minute. I got to do
it." Yeah, I'm gonna play you, Dad. Oh, man.
You're a big Shia fan?
I have become one.
Mm-hmm.
I have become one, especially as of late. He always kind of impressed me a little bit before, but then his antics got a little much for me. You know, like I'm a huge.
His off-screen antics that were a problem. I always thought he was a fun, entertaining actor.
Yeah, I would agree. And then he goes to some lengths, and I commend him for this film. I was not, you're not supposed to compare films, but to compare his films to his film, Peanut Butter Falcon to Honey Boy. Peanut Butter Falcon, I'm a huge fan of that film. That film was beautiful. This film was hard to watch. So I guess that's a good piece of art because it really inspired true feelings and trauma. However, it just was like, and it's over. It was like, okay, we're just gonna end the movie now.
Oh, it was all of a sudden.
Like we didn't really get to this is my critique, though. We didn't get to complete the process of what this guy was going through. And that being said, I don't think Shia has either. So I think the script, a lot of this was written at rehab while he was going through his therapy, in pretty intense therapy. And Lucas Hedges, man, my hat's off to him. He crushed it. He nailed it. He played Shia as a young adult, or a Shia now, and it was wonderful. It was a little bit mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had the cadence and he talked like him and moved like him a bit, but it was done really well. It was a believable mimic. It was a really good. But the true shining star is the young Shia, the kid who played him as a 12-year-old. Phenomenal.
Really?
I don't know how they found this kid. Yeah, I don't know. He's just genius. Just mature, beyond his years, and it was good. It's worth checking out, but it is definitely not a feel-good film at all. No.
We watched. It was Mother's Day yesterday, so
it was, yes. Happy Mother's Day.
My kid, yeah, thanks. It was really good for me. My kid was curating movies that my wife likes for her to watch. So it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Step Brothers were the two movies. And then we watched SNL. No.
I don't think anything else has to be said other than that reaction.
No.
Yeah. Oh. I think the last time I watched a full episode of SNL was in the '90s. Yeah. And if Lauren, if you're ever gonna watch us this here episode, I'm sorry, I still host your show.
Yeah, I'll go on the show. I've been watching
Yeah.
it
Oh,
because my kid's at the age where he can enjoy some of the sketches, you know. So, and it's something we can watch as
sure.
a family now. So we've been watching it, and you know, I remember not watching it through the '90s because it stopped being funny to me back then.
Hmm.
But it's now, like, we've been watching it for the last 2 years, I guess, and it's pretty funny, I think. I mean, when
There's been
they
some
when they have a stinker
great
episode
skits.
like last night, it's a stinker. But for the most part,
Mm,
they're more, you know, they're more entertaining than I remember them being back in the late '90s.
okay, all right. I mean, I've seen some skits. I've seen some great Ryan Gosling skits, and I've seen some. My favorite skit is that Casey Affleck one, the Dunkin' Donuts one. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, it's funny because that's
Yeah,
a mass sketch, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Vanilla nut taps. It's like he's smoking a cigarette. He's like, "What, Mark? I'm outside. Yeah, it's outside, Mark. Go back to Starbucks." I love that. I love that.
You got a bunch
So
of
you know,
bones
maybe
on your
that's just
mantle. What are those bones?
uh, there's no bones. The bone looking. That's a false fabricated antler.
Hmm.
Um, then there's some vases
What are those?
and a Buddha.
Are those full of like ground up bones? Is that what's in the vases?
If I told you, you'd end up in one of them. Sorry,
You got
sorry,
guitars on the
I
wall
can't
too.
help myself.
How
I
many
do.
guitar
I
are
have.
those? I see three. Are there more than three?
There's well, you see two guitars there, and you see one ukulele, and then there's a third one that is off camera.
Hmm.
So I have, yeah. Um, that's just, yeah. Do you play music?
No,
No.
I don't have. I don't know what it is. It's like I learned the only instrument. I mean, I tried when I was a kid, but for You're the Worst, the third season, they wrote in that my character like had taken up the harmonica as a hobby.
Okay.
So I forced myself to learn it. I took like online lessons and learned it. And you know, it
Hmm.
was fun and stuff, but like as soon as the season was over and they didn't pick that character trait up the next season, I didn't keep playing the harmonica. I mean, part of the problem is it's
Oh, I
like
see.
you know, I have these overactive saliva glands. so
They're
so the
just
harmonica
drooling
is
out.
just
It's
like
just like.
pouring. I can't I can't do wind instruments for the drool. I don't have the I don't know what it is because I love music. I love sitting around and listening to music. It's one of my favorite things, and it keeps me
Hmm.
sane, especially right now. But I've just never I don't know I don't have the I don't get inspired when I pick up instruments.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
don't have
Yeah.
the I guess I just don't have the self-discipline to learn it.
I see. Yeah. I would go out on a limb and say it's the purest art form in the sense of probably one of the oldest art forms too. Rhythm, or whether it was like a couple apes that looked like us going goosh, goosh, goosh
Right.
with rocks or something. You know, I feel like there's something very, you know, not to get too new agey, but we're all vibrations and well, scientific. I guess that's science. We all are moving particles, everything. So everything has a wavelength and a vibration. So it's pure. It's part of who and what we are, and
Yeah,
in nature too. You hear, you know.
yeah, I get that. It's like an extension of your self,
Mm-hmm.
very clearly. I mean, then that's why I love it. I mean, I do karaoke. That's about it.
Well, that's still music. That's great.
It's
What's your
not.
go-to karaoke song? That's what I want to know.
The one I always do is the Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, well,
I'm
give us a
just
note.
burning, doing a neutron dance. Skididi, skididi, skididi. Yeah, love that song.
Really?
I'm a big Pointer Sisters
That's
fan.
awesome. That's cool. My mom really turned me on to Motown too. I love Motown and all that
Oh
era.
yeah.
She raised me on disco, Motown, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and yeah. So I think I saw Chubby Checker, Fats Domino, and who's the guy who married his 14-year-old cousin? Great
Jerry Lee
balls of
Lewis.
fire.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, I got to see all those guys live. That was
Oh, that's
cool
cool.
as a kid. Oh yeah, yeah. It was really cool.
Last old act that I saw, I saw. Well, it wasn't really Jan and Dean because one of them's dead. You remember Jan and Dean? They're like a Beach Boys knockoff.
Okay, yeah.
So I went to see them in Pasadena at one of those like free concerts, and you sit on the grass and, and stuff. But I think it was Dean that was still alive, and Jan, but I don't remember. But Dean, he couldn't hit those notes anymore. Just couldn't hit the notes.
That's sad.
A little sad.
Yeah, I saw the remaining members of the Grateful Dead not several years ago, and Phil Lesh, I think, is at that time was like 70 something years old, and just. But Bob Weir, he still has it. He's still got the pipes on him. Are you a Dead fan at all? Do you
Yeah, I like the
Dead?
Dead. I mean, I'm not, I don't. I have like a couple of albums, like greatest hits, I think, and the one that came out in the '80s, the Touch of Grey.
Which what one was that? Was that American Beauty, the classic, with Friend of a Devil,
No, it was in the '80s. This came out, and I think the album
Okay.
was called Touch of Grey. It's
Yeah.
I like
that was their big radio hit, right? That was the big radio, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
cool.
so I like
I
them,
was a
and
late bloomer with the Dead.
I listened to the college
Sorry, I think
radio
we're
station, KCSN 88.5. I stream it,
my
and they play
favorite
the
one.
Dead a
Yeah.
lot. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Dead too, and I'm definitely a late bloomer. I think I was turned on to them actually after Jerry had actually passed, and then I kind of went on a path with that. I was also the first summer I had magic mushrooms, so that probably helped. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, drugs are bad. Don't do them.
PSA. Yeah,
Don't do
you'll
them.
look like these guys.
Yeah. This is like way too
Both
much
of
drug
us.
use.
Yeah.
That's what's happened. It's
Yeah.
ruined me.
You'll end up becoming actors.
Yeah, you become an actor, and you'll have a friggin' Steven Seagal picture on your wall.
Yeah, Steven Seagal's the man. That Aikido, come on.
Yeah,
break your finger right off your body. Like,
well, I did love his early
day.
movies. That's like fan art for Out for Justice, which is my favorite one of his oldies.
Nice. Yeah. He had
He's
good
not
stuff
a good person
early on.
He's not a good person.
No, probably not. Probably not. But he's an actor. All right, this is a great subject to bring up. It's become like this cultural thing where if you're an actor, you're supposed to be like a saint. That's just like developed over the last 5 to 10 years of social media, I think. And traditionally, actors are the freaking outliers, the crazy people that are like, I can't live normal life. I got to go live it over here. And now all of a sudden, it's like you must be a perfect being to be an actor, or any type of celebrity.
There are lines here, Josh, and
of course, I
see
agree
your
with
point.
that.
I see your point. Like somebody being crabby, like on set, like a Richard Dreyfuss. To me, that's no big deal, right? But it like when you're talking about certain people and they're sex traffickers,
Well, of
and
course.
and
But the
traitors to their own country.
scale, though,
It gets a little
yeah,
dicey.
yeah, yeah.
You know, it
Yeah,
feels weird. Like, because I'm a completist with Seagal, so I watch every piece of shit that he puts out, and it's bad. But I can't. I feel bad like paying for it because I feel like I'm
Mhm.
lining the pockets of a true monster.
Mm. Isn't he? Yeah, because he isn't he like homies with Putin? Friends
Yeah,
with?
yeah, they're like best
Yeah,
friends, and he's like
yeah.
ambassador to the United States or something weird like that. Oh, oh,
Uh-oh. Was that 15 minutes already?
yeah, that was 15 minutes.
Oh. Did we have anything of value in that 15 minutes?
No,
No. Yes.
we did it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if nobody gets anything out of it. I did. I enjoyed it. It's nice talking to you. I like doing this.
Me too.
All right. Well,
Me too. And
I'm gonna.
look, I learned
What's that?
one. I'm staying still, walking around. Said I learned from the first time. I'm staying still. I'm near my Wi-Fi. It's hopefully not jumping all over the place like a complete idiot, cutting out every time
You
I
only
speak.
jump.
So
You only
hopefully,
jump when you move too much. You just jumped when you moved around.
yeah.
But yeah, that looked weird. That
Okay.
looked like Jacob's ladder or something.
We live in a simulation. So
All
you know
right,
that, right?
I'm stopping the recording.
Oh wait, we're supposed to end. We're supposed to end.
Oh yeah, well, how we end it?
Oh, what do you think? You better than me? Is that the ending? I don't know.
Remember.
How do we end this?
I think we just said goodbye a bunch of times.
I got it. I'm Todd Robert Anderson, and that's Joshua Matthew Wingate, and we are Massholes on the West. What's the name of the show?
West Coast Massholes.
West Coast Wasshole. Signing off.
I don't know why we're military. This has been a Blursh production. Blur.